So, if you want to find out who's going to be investigated by the police,
Very good.
what's the name? I love it.
Getting their dick tonight.
You want to run this up to my car?
They're just calling personally.
I got turned on you doing now.
I know the way they call It's from the original one, but I changed
Oh,
the name.
chocolate fixed.
Because I have a copy of the one.
Do you notice the clock's fixed?
Yeah, we fixed it yesterday.
You act like it's cold out there.
Not out there, but I remember it was in there.
Max won't be here because he's gone.
Yeah.
He said he's a producer right there. He's having my kid see him, and I'm like, from what I hear, he's being investigated.
Just call and say, can I talk to the person? If they transfer you to somebody, they'll tell you that.
I'll call his sister and what is his name? And you can.
Dana must think it's cold too. She got a long sleeve shirt on.
But I also know that you can keep somebody out of the city council meeting because he has requested to never return to the city council meeting.
Yeah.
For the police. You have to see these go.
Yes, fixed. It's working.
We got a clock.
Yeah.
Cool.
Miracle what batteries does.
You just changed the battery and it didn't help.
Oh, I don't. Dana said Gene fixed it, so
Good.
maybe it was a dead battery.
Dana fixed it?
Yeah. What did he do to the clock? Yeah,
You
battery.
just changed the battery.
That's not been a very good battery, I guess.
I guess. You're just a dedicated clock fixer. I have my great grandmother's old cookie clock.
No, I don't think I better do it.
I think it needs more than a battery.
Mr. Green, did it rain on you this afternoon?
A little bit, not bad.
There was a little shower here south of Pratt.
Not
I
bad.
went,
Yeah,
It
like,
poured down rain, like
For us,
torrential rain.
for us, it's like 5 minutes.
But it's torrential.
Not even us.
Oh,
I
no.
was in Pratt briefly and it poured for about a minute
Yeah.
and then that was.
And then it turned hot and humid and this stuff too.
I think we got like,
Somebody said like in the high school, it was like a wall. Yeah.
The cause of this, I just left my hay on the ground. There is not to get rid of.
It's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow.
But
It's supposed to rain tonight and then,
hush your mouth.
well,
Don't say that. Not-
tell my plants that.
I don't want my oats to be raining upon me.
Well, you better have a talk with the man upstairs then. Twice.
I did not see Jeff's truck at home. Dave was probably feeling weak. Ms. Michaela, do you have any confidence that we might get any more council people or no?
I haven't heard from him.
No contact from him? Okay, thank you.
Yes, he is. She looks so pretty.
It is 7:00 PM Central Daylight Time. We will call this meeting to order. This is the regular, however delayed, monthly meeting for the month of June of the Turon City Council. We were delayed for a couple of weeks. It is scheduled for tonight, and we do have a quorum present, so we will begin. Call to order and the roll call. Mrs. Brack, are you here?
Dana Brock. Christine Stewart.
Cole Green.
Is there commentary about the agenda?
I did want to add, a resident asked me to ask about this citywide garage sale to city clerk.
And I didn't hear that, I'm sorry.
Add citywide garage sale to city clerk.
Okay. Anything else? For a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda with the added garage sales under city clerk.
I'll second that.
Aye.
Aye.
We should have with you a copy of May the 12th approved minutes from our last full council meeting, May the 12th, 2025, 2 pages on approved minutes. Is there comments or questions or corrections to be made on those?
I make a motion to approve May 12th minutes, unapproved minutes.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Is there a consensus on that?
Aye.
All right, I had it a moment ago, I thought. Is there minutes from the meeting we had last week?
That'll be in July.
Okay, I thought I saw it in here. Thank you. Approval of bills, who would like to speak to that? Taylor, are you in a position to discuss that with us?
What about,
Well, anything on here that requires any attention?
do you think so?
Any discussion on the unpaid bills?
Is this something that we pay yearly or this sensiphone?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, it's for the well.
Which item was that, please?
Sensiphone? About a third of the way down, underneath Pools Plus.
Sensiphone. Okay, you may enlighten us about that. What is that?
It, like, the power goes off, it alerts the guys around it that the wells have power.
Wakes them up in the middle of the night, is what Christie's looking. I'm gonna ask around here and see if the wells are going again.
I don't know exactly what they do.
You have to come up right away if that goes off, or can you wait till morning? That goes off in the middle of the night.
Depending on what code it is.
Okay. Any other questions about the unpaid bills?
I make a motion to approve the unpaid bills for June 2025.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there a consensus?
Aye.
We will approve the bills. I have more questions than reports to issue. I just had a question about the procedure for the audit report. Are things underway? You've been sending information to the auditors that was put in. How is that going?
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting some stuff sent, but there's a lot that they're asking.
Is this person content to do one year, or has the conclusion been reached yet as about whether they need to back up for previous years?
I mean, as of right now, we're only doing 2024. We haven't,
2024?
yeah, we haven't talked to him about anything else.
Okay. Next question I would have, at our last meeting, we had a gentleman from the water tower service company. He was going to send us a proposed contract with, I had asked for a contract with numbers. Did we get anything back from them? Proposed annual payments and
I think we did. We did, right, Urban?
No, we ain't got nothing.
Oh, from McGuire?
We ain't got nothing.
okay, was that a no?
What do you do, Department? Ain't heard nothing wrong since the meeting.
I'll have to double check my email, because I thought I might have gotten something.
Okay. Moving on, then I will report we had a little attempted break-in at the swimming pool a couple of weeks ago, and I was hoping that Kelly would be here to. Oh, there's Kelly. Hoping to discuss security and what happened. I don't think any entrance was actually made, but there was an attempt to jimmy the gate.
Yeah, they were trying to cut that.
Speak up and.
They were trying to cut the padlock. They were trying to cut the padlock off into the guard room. And so I got a camera up there so you can see it if somebody comes in or not through the windows.
So all you potential breaker-inners, I know that you're being
This looks like
It was me.
spread the word far and wide that you're being watched.
Did you get your lives on your comments? Like a dog.
I think that's all I have to report, so I will move on to the guest speakers. Mrs. Dorrance, did you wish to make a speech? Please, you're welcome to come to the podium. Sure. And you know, I'm hard of hearing.
I know, that's why I'm coming up.
Yes, and I appreciate it.
And feel free to throw anything at the mayor you wish.
Yeah. Anyway, Ken just asked me just moments ago why I was coming, and because I hadn't shared it with him. And then I started to tell him, and he said, I don't want to know. So anyway, here's the deal. I just want to, I don't know how many of you saw in the record this week about Sylvia had gotten a large grant for, well, a $10,000 grant for playground equipment. I got to wondering if, and what I thought I would say to you tonight is that I thought maybe I would inquire about some of that thing, not on the basis of I'm asking for the city. Why I'm telling you here today is that I don't want you to think I'm moving behind your back or anything. I thought I would ask a few questions and see what might be available out there. We, of course, you all know that we live across from the park, and the park really is used quite often. Everett and Erman really keep the park mowed nice. Kelly's got, the swimming pool is always full. And there's always, after hours, several kids in the park. So I thought maybe it might be time to at least think of upgrading a couple of the pieces, or fixing them at least. Anyway, I'm not making a proposal, I'm not asking that you do that, I just want you to know that I might be asking some questions. And I didn't want you to feel like I was moving behind your back. That's all I had to say.
You might be asking some questions of this group
Well, no, just around,
around town.
yeah, around, well, like, the city of Ayuka is getting a new merry-go-round, and I,
Regarding the possibility of upgrading some
Yeah.
playground equipment.
yeah, just look at some things around, and I just thought it might be something you might want to consider in the future. At no time, like the next year, but the next couple of years maybe. So, just telling you.
Thank you.
Hold on, Jan.
I'll be pondering that a little bit. Okay.
Dana, was it 7 years ago we got the last playground equipment? Do you remember? It's been quite a while.
I would say it's probably at least that.
Yeah. So if that helps, I mean, we need new stuff.
And some of it has been injured, damaged in storms and, they're, fixing them up and they're still, used quite heavily. And the kids really like it. And anyway, but I just wanted to let you know that I might be asking you some questions, but not on your behalf, just mine. Okay?
It's been quite a while. Thank you, Jan.
For many years, Jan has been a member of a ladies' civic club in Pratt, known as the Pilot Club, for the training in town. They've also raised a lot of money for playground equipment and predominantly handicapped accessible playground equipment for both in Lemons Park and in Sixth Street Park there. They also raised the money for the train and they operate the small. But there's a world of playground equipment out there.
There is, and you have to be really, what you're referring to is really beyond what the city of Turon could afford.
I'm sure it would be smaller, it would be smaller scale projects.
Right,
But
definitely.
If there was anything of interest.
Okay, just want to let you know. Thank you.
And
I was gonna say 7 years.
water bill hearings, Michaela, is there none? And treasurer's report, Ms. Irwin,
Okay,
please report.
well, it's a little outdated. This is for May 30th. The balance of the checking account was $100,909.18, and the savings account was $52,503.17. So our total cash was $153,412.35. And our profit and loss statement shows a deficit of $24,617.75.
A world of information to proceed here. Do you wish to proceed on it further? Or
No.
are there questions for the city treasurer?
You have it all laid out here.
Questions or discussion for the city treasurer?
Excuse me.
Going once, going twice. Moving on, the swimming pool manager.
Well, like Jan said,
Step right up here.
we've been
Yeah.
swamped at the pool.
I'm sorry?
We've been swamped. This is probably the
it's been really
busiest
busy.
year I've had in a long, long time, which is good. And whatever the guys are doing, the pool looks great with all the storms and the rain and the wind. It's been looking good.
You've been really busy, a lot of
Lots.
participants.
From all over, Sylvia, Arlington,
Yeah.
so it's been good.
Very good. Okay, seems like I had another important question. Oh, we did get enough donations.
Oh, yeah.
That we were able to
Yeah,
offer free.
I appreciated
so
that.
We did get the, raise the $3,000 figure again, exceeded that a little bit, so with the help of a little bit left over from last year, but we're okay.
Good.
Are we, while we're talking about that, are we going to put up not another sign particularly, but something to thank the donors?
I have a list of those donors provided for me by Ms. Michaela. I was kind of haggling a little bit, waiting make sure to see if there's any late arrivals that came in. After she gave that to me, we did get receive another contribution. And so I was kind of glad I waited a little bit, but I think we should put up a sign again. Did you like the signs from last year, or something equivalent to that, or something similar?
No, that was fine with me.
Yeah, those were about $120, I think, for the two of them. The purchase materials and the printing, which I happened to pay for out of my own pocket.
Did you get those in Pratt?
Yes, and take it printing. I'm wondering if we could use the same materials here and flip it over and print it on the other side.
That's what I was wondering, if they could strip those off and
Flip
just.
it over, paint it over, or something perhaps. But they ought to be taken down, that's last year's signs.
Right.
Anyways.
So, yeah,
I
I'd
would
rather have.
anticipate putting up a thank you sign. Yes.
Okay. I'd rather be sooner than later, because,
Yes.
we don't want it at the end of the season when nobody's showing up anymore.
All right. Any more questions about the pool while we have the pool manager? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, City Clerk, Ms. Michaela, speak to us about all the important stuff.
Last meeting, it had just been asked to see about what, like, Arlington was doing about mowing stuff. So I called them and just kind of asked them what the process was, what they do. And she told me, so they make like an ad on Facebook and they post it at businesses. And they say like what locations, and then they put like a deadline to when they want bids submitted. And so they just have like the main city, like the park, and the park surely just mowed. So I was just asked about it, so.
Is that something that council would want more information about or research further, or more questions?
I think we need to see what we're paying out of our own pocket with our guys doing it.
Okay.
I think to see if we can maybe save something or save them more time.
So we need the maintenance gentleman to keep track of how much time it takes.
Well, they probably know, it's not
Per lot or per area.
Maybe they can throw that in their report.
I can look at a calculator. Next item.
I mean, it's been asked about before, we don't do mosquito dunks, but, I haven't priced if anyone needs to know where to get them or how much. But it was kind of brought up last meeting and it didn't get talked about, so I put it back on.
Okay.
And the reason we're not providing is because the county is no longer providing to us, correct?
Correct.
At some point in history, Reno County provided them to us and we passed it out. They're not doing that. They are available from which merchants?
I mean, pretty much anywhere. There's
Anywhere?
Amazon, Bombars, Tractor Supply, Bug Guys sell dunks as well, and Walmart.
Okay. Prices vary or pretty consistent?
The 6-pack's usually about $8 to $10. So that's around the same. The Bug Guys though do $2 a dunk.
Okay. Any questions or discussion about mosquito dunks? Going up to check things you can put in a water bottle. Moving on, the Bug Guys. What have we learned from the Bug Guys?
So I called them Friday to talk about how they go through the city. He did not answer. I left a message. I did not get called back today. And I did not get a chance to try to call him again. But are you wanting me just to make sure he's going down every road, like, or just saying like, hey, how do you guys go through the town?
I just figured out if they were skipping. So you didn't get in contact with them about doing the actual spray?
No, I called Friday and he didn't answer, so I left a message to call me back today, and he didn't.
We did have a special meeting of the council last week to discuss more mosquito spraying, and we're trying to get in contact with the bug guys, and apparently we're having a hard time making contact. I kind of imagine that every little town in the area is wanting more mosquito spraying.
So I'll call him again tomorrow.
And that's that story. All right, what would you like to discuss with regard to a citywide garage sale?
Well, we have the Bill Thomas, our budget guy, called me and said we need to pick a date to do like the budget go over. And I'll probably be preferably not the meeting night, because then it'll take a lot longer. So the next meeting is the 14th. He said he can do either July 7th or 8th or 14th or 15th. I figured on the meeting night would be pretty difficult. I mean, we did it last year, but we made it very long. So I need to let him know pretty fast what day.
What is on meeting, you said?
The 14th.
He could do the 15th.
Yeah, or July 7th or
Pick a day for your convenience. I can make it work.
7th and 8th probably won't work for me. But if we go the 15th, maybe some more harvest will be done.
We can hope.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be here the 15th.
You can't do
If that makes a difference.
What were the mentioned dates again?
7th or 8th, and 14th or 15th. Those are the only dates he gave me.
14th of July?
Yeah.
It's probably more important that Dana's here than it is I am for the council. But it's for the council, but that's motion made.
You want to shoot for the 15th? Yeah. Think we're clear then? Oh, let's try for that. Maybe harvest will be kind of winding down by then too.
So, is there a date that will specify?
15th works.
Doesn't matter?
Not really.
What is the consensus to
15th?
15th of July?
And it would be at 7 p.m. like usual.
You coming around?
That might be something to check on. Make sure it's all stuff ready to go.
Now, let's try again to talk about a garage sale.
Well, it's pretty late, obviously already into the summer to think about it. But someone asked if we were gonna do one, and so I said I would ask.
This is a garage sale, it's not a cleanup day,
Right.
it's a garage sale.
It's just sit.
My junk could be your junk. What is the feeling here? Christine, you'd like to buy some of my junk, I think.
I mean, I've had no one else ask about it, just this one.
What is the commentary about the garage sale?
Personally, I've not seen a lot of participation on that, unfortunately. And it is kind of late in the summer, or it's early in the summer, but kind of late for garage sales, I guess I would say.
Sounds like we're leaning kind of negatively towards that. Anybody out here wanna?
In the past, we've had quite a few people sign up, and then a small amount would actually go through. I agree with Dana,
I think it's kind of late for the season.
and I think from past history, we don't have enough people out here for people to come.
Any further comments, discussion about a garage sale, or is it going to pass on for another week?
Now, maybe next year we could do it. I know Cunningham has wide garage sales. I think Arlington does too. Maybe we could kind of move around those dates.
We'll try to start a little earlier next year.
Maybe see when they are, and maybe, you know, maybe they could hit 2 towns in one day, I don't know.
Ms. Michaela, anything else with regard to clerk reports? Very good, we'll turn to legal matters. Lynch, what is the big news?
Well, I think probably the first thing to start with the hearing on 402 East Price. I think we have, yep. So this is, when the city's in, we send out the hearing regarding this property. It hadn't been connected to city water since in March of 2025. There's people living in the homes. That's
They're
what
not
prompted
supposed to be living there.
this. Okay.
They've been not supposed to be living there. So, and my mom, my parents actually own it,
Okay.
but they live in Missouri. So I'm here on behalf of them. But we have tried to get them out. She sent certified letters. They were here for Memorial Day and they swung by and she said she was gonna be moved out in a couple of weeks and she's still there. And we were supposed to be, we were here for, what was the last meeting that was canceled, but we didn't know. I think we talked to you. And we called the cops and they went and talked to her and nothing. So we're back at square one evidently.
Well, if
So we just need to know how to get her out. She basically just wants the house condemned because, I mean, the chimney's falling down, the roof's no good. I mean, the outside's no good, so the inside can't be any good.
So what we can make a finding tonight is that because it's not hooked up to the city water, that it's not fit for human habitation. Then we have a property officer mark it unfit for human habitation, and it's a violation of the city code if somebody resides in the house with that mark on it. So we can make that finding, get an order to vacate, and then if they stay there, we can file a municipal court case against them for violating that order.
And I mean, they also have dogs there, and I don't think they have running water. I mean, you guys would probably know that better than me. I live in Stafford, I don't know. So they got dogs, and I don't know how many people's living there. So
Okay.
all of that's just up in the air as far as I know.
Well, what I'd ask the council to do is find that, because that house doesn't have running water that's required under the city code, that we declare it unfit for human habitation,
Right.
and then we can get that process started.
Okay.
And tell me again what happens then?
Then-
City ordinance or city hearing, city court?
Dude, we can file complaints and go to municipal court with it if they remain in the house after it's been marked as unfit for human habitation.
And the outcome of that would be,
That's a public offense, it's punishable by jail time and a fine. So they could be arrested, they could be sentenced to jail time for living in the house after it's been marked as unfit for human habitation.
that whole system, that whole process would take another month or 6 weeks? Or?
We can mark it unfit tonight, and then if they're still in there after it's marked, we can have complaints ready for municipal court at the end of July. Would be the next date that we'd have.
So what do we need to do tonight then? The council needs to do what?
Tonight, we need you guys to find that because there's no water hooked up to the house, that it is unfit for human habitation. And then issue an order to vacate the property, and I can get that paperwork drawn up based on that finding being made tonight. And I did ask Michaela, it hadn't been connected since March, and it's still not connected to the city water.
So we would need for someone to approve to declare the house unfit
Yep.
for human habitation. So a motion to,
And you want Karen's? they're wanting us to.
Yes,
They live in Missouri.
yeah,
That's why they're not here.
they're almost 8 hours away. So,
And she made the trip a couple weeks ago to be here, so she wasn't gonna come back today.
I understand, I just wanna make sure that
Yeah,
we're.
just
And
make
I
sure everybody's on the
that-
same page.
That this is, you know, what the landowner.
I know you said it would bring maybe something written from her and signed by her, so that's what we have, kind of just pretty
For the
simple.
record, your name was?
Jennifer Stolzenberger.
I'm sorry?
Jennifer Stolzenberger.
And I have that in my phone somewhere.
Okay.
Too late to look it up.
That's
My
okay.
apologies again to your mother who made a 7-hour trip from
Yeah.
Overly, Missouri, I
Yeah.
think, to
Yeah.
attend our last canceled meeting a couple of weeks ago.
So we need to make a motion. And you wanna make a motion or do I need to make a motion?
I make a motion to.
Oh, sorry.
402 East Price.
I make a motion to
Declare it unfit for human
declare,
habitation
declare 402 East Price unfit for human habitation
and issue an order to vacate that property.
and issue an order to vacate that property.
I'll second.
Do you write that order or send that out?
Yep, I will get that put together.
And how is it delivered to the houses?
It'll have to be either James or the city guys take that order over to the house.
It has to be like a summons, it has to
Yeah.
touch somebody and
Or get tacked to the door.
back to the door.
Yeah, because I don't imagine they'll answer,
Yeah,
would be my guess. I mean,
yeah.
Are the people there all the time or come and go?
I know
or-
she doesn't work, that's all I can tell you. She drives that purple car, I don't even know what it is, but that's her car. Other than that, I can't tell you much. So when will you be able to do that? Will you have that order done and get it done this week,
That,
hopefully?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I don't have one more cards.
I'm gonna keep this for our record.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I don't have.
That's good, that's fine.
They're all.
Okay.
And you know, are your parents planning on having that torn down?
I'm not sure just yet. We've been trying for months to get Sam out of it, so I think it's kind of one step at a time now. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do. They would like to just have it condemned and tore down because I'm sure the inside isn't in very good shape.
I assume it's generating some property taxes as long as it's
Yeah.
standing there.
Yeah.
And if there's no income producing capability, that's a losing proposition.
Mhm.
It would appear to require a great deal of upgrading
Yeah.
to make it habitable again.
Yeah, and I know that tarp's been on the roof for
Oh, a long time.
several years that I know of, and the chimney's falling down. We noticed when we were here last time, and, and they didn't have gas on all winter. So they've been heating it with space heaters, which, they're a fire hazard anyhow. But in normal situations, I've also heard that she had been running garden hoses from the neighbors' houses to get water. I don't know, that's just what I've been told. I don't make it a habit to go over there, although we did think about the dynamite thing.
Have we done everything we can do to
Okay.
benefit to this property?
That covers my end of it. Then
Okay.
If you got questions, give me a call, shoot me an email.
Will do. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me, you're fine.
Thank you. You have more things for us?
That it is insured, it is not taxed. That she has, like, it's sitting on her property. It is not driven, but it can be, but it just isn't, because she doesn't use it. But she got a violation for it, so does she need to get it tagged? Because she said she would like not have to, but she will if she has to, because it is already insured.
So, what our code defines as an automobile nuisance is vehicle that's not currently registered, tagged, or parked in violation of city ordinance, or incapable of moving under its own power, or in a junk, wrecked, or operable condition. I kind of think if it's capable of moving, it's insured, where is it parked?
She has like a shed thing and it's parked behind that.
So it's parked on the street or?
Yeah. She says it is, I mean, she was like, if I need to drive it a few feet every so often, she's like, I will. But,
I think this is, we kind of started talking about this last meeting, how far you guys want to push the junk vehicles. To me, if it's insured, I'm more concerned about insurance than I am about the registration. Because if it's insured, that will protect everybody else. And if it's not, if it's back behind a shed or somewhere where it's not really an eyesore, I'm not sure that meets the nuisance without going out and looking at it. To me, the intent of this section is more the junk, wrecked, inoperable vehicles that are in pieces that just sit there.
So she just needs to show a current insurance card.
And my understanding is she has, or she's.
no,
or
she
said it's
just said
insured.
she was insured.
But the way the code's written, not having a current license plate on the vehicle raises the presumption that it's junk or inoperable. So,
And she did say one of the tires is flat or low and she could throw a different tire on it if she needed to. But she says it's drivable.
I don't suspect I would be in favor of telling her to get tagged on the license plate.
I mean,
It's not able to be operable legally if it's not tagged.
right. And this goes to, I think if we're going to enforce this section, it needs to be enforced everywhere, and I think it makes sense to do them. Kind of get a list of potential violations put together for you guys to look at, and then if we're going to file them all at once. That way we're trying to treat everybody the same with it and not.
I mean, it's not on the street, right? And it's not.
It's in her yard.
And she has another car. I mean, I have two cars. I have one sitting in my driveway that's tagged and insured that I don't drive with. So, I mean. That's all. It doesn't mean.
No.
I'm just saying, I know, but I'm just saying.
If it's tagged and operable, you're okay.
I know, but still,
Or you can
If
have
it's
it,
not.
you can have it behind screening material.
Approved.
Yeah, approved screening material in the garage. And then it says it doesn't apply to vehicle that's parked for 30 days or less. So if it moves once every 29 days.
There we go.
My car hasn't moved in months.
So I think,
Every 29 minutes?
Gabe is the one, I mean, he really doesn't want to push this because of some other deal about some other cars. I don't know. I wasn't around for that. So I don't know. No. Well, I would at least like to make sure that she has insurance. If she said she has insurance, I would at least like to see a current insurance card. I mean, maybe we need to talk about this when everybody's here. But,
I mean, we'll worry about the ones that are sitting
On the
on
street.
blocks, sitting on the street that's been there
packed
for
full of
years and years.
junk where the pack rats can go in all the time.
If it were to be tagged, it would have insurance on it. They have to
Right.
demonstrate proof of insurance.
Because she says she has insurance, but it's just a tag, so I would just like to at least see if she said it has insurance, that it does have insurance. And I don't know who we're talking about, so. I'm not pulling any favors here.
I assumed you were talking about, I was wrong.
So what is our consensus here? What should we instruct Michaela to discuss with this person?
To show proof of insurance.
Proof of insurance?
And I'm sure we're gonna revisit this until we get this, either the ordinance changed or start enforcement letter by letter, so.
And that's something that we could do, is you guys figure out what you want the violation to be. And if we take out the tag part, looking more,
Junk.
because the other part's placement of the vehicle at parts on jacks, blocks, or other supports, the absence of one or more of the parts of the vehicle necessary for the lawful operation of the vehicle. If we took out the tag part, and then we leave it at parked in violation of the city ordinance or incapable of moving under its own power or in junk wrecked or inoperable condition, that may make that clear to what we're looking at and focus more on the ones that are the issue than an otherwise working vehicle that's.
Well, I don't, Gabe's just the one that's always talking about this other deal that had happened years prior, and I don't know what that was, so. We'll probably just have to revisit all that.
If a vehicle is capable of running, the engine will run and the transmission goes into gear, but it happens to be sitting on blocks, is it operable or is it not operable?
It doesn't have
If
tires,
the
it's not.
wheels gone or,
So the way, it uses the word, the code uses the word presumption. So
assumption,
presumption,
presumption.
so that means that I can show your vehicle up on blocks and then it's presumed that it's incapable of running until you prove otherwise. So you may be able to prove that no, it is fine.
So in
it's
that
just
case, a vehicle that's up on blocks, the city could go ahead and have a complaint in progress.
Yep.
It would be up to the owner to demonstrate that
correct,
that the vehicle could actually be made to run.
correct. And then if they could, they'd show that it's not a nuisance vehicle under the code at that point.
What are your instructions for Ms. Michaela with regard to the item at hand?
So consensus, correct?
What are your instructions for Mr. Lynch towards developing a further progress and further development of a code change if needed or code application?
Daniel, you're probably gonna need these two here, because they're gonna have different opinions than we do. He's gonna have a different opinion than me, and they're all gonna have.
You can put this off for another month.
I guess so.
Okay, no instructions for Mr. Lynch. Mr. Lynch, do you have any other words of wisdom to discuss with us?
We don't see you paying now.
What is the status of previous infractions?
Maybe James to answer that, or around the others. I think we want an executive session.
Yeah. I'd like to call it executive session.
Look
for
at
10
those locks
minutes.
again.
Council, mayor,
Those club locks.
and attorney.
It's gonna show.
for
What we use on the
non-elected
personnel.
personnel.
That's gonna show.
How,
Oh, sorry, did you say how long?
10 minutes.
Right. I think what happened with the roof is when their house was on it, they shut up. And so he measured it and checked up. Because we left it on water a couple days, sometimes when they get loose or wet, they stretch, but we didn't trust it.
Lay them out and measure.
Yeah, I got thinking, after you told me that, I bet they always strike that thing out the water.
So as long as longer, we could cut it down and put it on the floor, and I got enough rope for another one.
Okay, all I got.
We have to make a new one. That one rope quite a bit longer, I know it'd be.
No, right, sure. I don't know, it's been looking good, hasn't it? I was impressed.
Hmm?
I was impressed.
Yeah, we figured you probably hadn't been adding any water, but we've been running a lot of water every day.
It hasn't really been.
There's been a couple times that we're sucking air
Really?
when we got there.
Well, yesterday the big pool was getting full and the other one was getting low.
Fucking here this morning. Looked like we probably need to back flush your filters again tomorrow. Usually when the baby pool starts going up, we gotta back flush the filter. We run a lot of water in this morning.
Why does that every once in a while? It's been good, I mean, it looks good, it's been good.
Yeah, we flushed the filter. We flushed them here. What was it, a week or so ago? Looked like the pressure was getting up this morning. We're waiting for all the air to work out of it too. I think we might have to flush them tomorrow.
What's this?
I don't know whether we're about all them damn minutes of fucking somebody's building.
Yeah, there's plenty of other stuff that you could do.
Well, we got the one that's parked on the street that ain't moved in years. I think I know who they're talking about there, and her figure ain't going nowhere. Good deal there.
Guess I'll better go, I gotta get up at 4:30. I like it, sure.
I don't, it scares the crap out of me every day.
Empty air, floating.
Every day. I'm not scared of dogs, but I'll tell you that one.
She's scared of your dog.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she said scares her every day.
You still not going to work.
He's quite the barker.
Yeah,
Thought he's kind of come over that fence a couple times.
we got
hasn't
home
he?
today and I had us go to pop in the pop machine and jumped up on that fence. I said, go lay down and shut up. Yeah, it's funny, because if I park a little close to that fence, it's hard. I said, oh, go lay down, don't sleep. Just like, when are you talking to me like that?
You're not my mom.
After all this time, he wouldn't even work at us, but he does. It's funny.
I think it's funny that, you know, the blue
inflatable thing you had?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that freaks him out, something fierce.
When I put that
Come down
out
on
there, he goes crazy and he'll bark.
Oh, yeah, he just knows it's a space invader.
If I just, when I go out open, if he sees me come back out and put that flag up, you know, he knows I'm gonna put that one out, and I think, oh, I should take that out.
Well, after you said that, I
And
was
then
sitting here, I'm
sometimes
like,
I do put it up, it's
because I
really
remember
funny to
last
watch
year or
him out
something,
there.
they come and looked and we said,
Barks.
no, we have to put him in the schools.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought,
I was making sure you were up.
Yeah, I did.
it's not out here, it won't hurt you.
Yeah, I didn't think we would just let him out. and
What?
Right.
let him out.
It makes sense though, I see it.
It's funny.
Oh, and then I'm sorry, Sarah didn't listen to you. I called her 3 times to make sure you were
After
up.
lunch, so I can get back
I
on.
love you. Have a
One
good
bite,
night.
you'd be gone.
Yeah,
All right,
just
thanks,
a little bit
guys.
of a snack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come on, have a good evening. It's almost for bedtime.
bye.
Yeah, your grandkids come to me all the
Oh,
time.
they, yeah, Dakota sent me pictures of the other night when they had Tim pick up the lambs and stuff, and so one of their treats was to come over,
Oh, yeah.
and they ate over there the other night, and oh my gosh.
Oh, you thought they
They
were
were
in heaven.
Yeah. Well, they sent pictures, and I was like, oh my gosh. They're always like, can I get some money? I was like, where are you going?
Down the
Great.
street.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah, they do, they just.
Yeah, they enjoy it. Colton's always like, I think I need to help her. I will tell you what I need, that she's always working by herself. I don't know if she wants help or not. I'm like, Colton, he is such a sweet boy.
He is.
Really
He'll
is.
come down there and say, if you need some help, just let me come in there and help you.
He's like, I don't take no money from her.
Oh, that's
She
what he
offers.
tells me. He said, let me come in and help you. I'll help you. If you got some work for me, I'll do it. And this other little boy, he comes over and he'll say, can I sweep off out there and get something from you? I said, well, yeah, and I did a couple of times. Well, then his little brother comes.
More time to figure that one out.
And it's funny, he comes and he'll say,
We can wipe the table stand.
do you have any work for us? Do you have any work for us? Or do you got anything free?
Yeah.
So I bought some snacks, treats, and I give it to him.
I really appreciate it.
It don't matter, you know, it don't amount to nothing, but, yeah.
Well, they were impressed, don't worry.
Oh, I
Because
do.
they're like, check this out. Take pictures. And I was like, dang, that looks good.
And then when he orders those Oreo cookies,
He
I
has
always
my,
give
he
him
has,
1 or 2 extra.
he always brings, he was coming to my house, I think, that night, and he wrote on the box, here's a couple extra if anybody wants one. From Colton. And I was like, I opened it up, it was Friday Warriors, I was like, shocker. And then next thing I know, he's up there eating, and I was like, that lasted long. Say nothing.
He might have heard something. He was just trying to be nice.
Yeah,
That's the way we do it.
I
Well,
always
he
do.
does, he is addicted to those,
I know he loves them. Those Oreos?
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
and I did take a bite, and they are delicious, and I'm like, okay, just keep them away from me. I'm sure you guys are looking good. I don't know how you guys look. Huh?
Got more to go. I have almost.
It's hard though,
It is. But
especially when you're cooking good food like that.
I try not to eat it.
I understand that.
So,
I don't go out there very often.
I wouldn't either, I'd have to stay.
I stay inside.
Don't put no sweets in there.
She might
no
not
kidding,
know.
when she comes in, she'll say, I've got to have some of those nachos.
Oh, yeah.
One day I said I gotta have the white fried Oreos.
And then
Yellow
they'll,
fried Oreos.
sometimes they'll say, well, can I get the small, and I've got to get some of the smaller crates. Because if they get the smaller ones, they know that they're just $1
Oh, yeah.
instead of the big ones,
And
which
that's
are
what Dakota said, he
$2.
goes, Jesus, you know how much food we got for $15? Yeah.
He couldn't eat all this for
I know, that's what he said. That's awesome though. Yeah, we
said-
appreciate it. I
You know,
hope
he
they don't
said-
bother you too
You
bad.
know, he said,
Oh,
I
they
bought
avoid
those
it.
French fries at Walmart, and they don't even taste the same when I cook them. I said, I'm
They
sorry.
got me some and they're good.
Yeah,
Very good.
so,
I got the picture you gave me.
her kids come down there, her grandkids love it. It's so cute.
has ended. We are back in session. No action were taken during the executive session. And we concluded our words of wisdom for our legal, was that he is?
That's everything that I can think of.
Any questions, issues for discussion for Mr. Lynch?
I don't have any more.
Well, I'm going to turn to the maintenance gentleman. Who would like to be on the spot tonight?
Yeah, we don't have that much to report anyway.
Good evening, Mr. Birdsong. How are you doing?
All right.
What is the good news?
We got a bid for the street in front of the fire station. From Ward Davis, I don't know if you got it in your package or not.
It looks like this, Scott.
And you still got the other two bids that wrote in last month.
And I don't have those in front of me tonight. How does this compare with the others?
They're all
Okay, I have that. I don't understand this one anyway. This one seems to be
That was just for the concrete.
This is
And
$10,000.
$10,000 for labor to run it.
And then we would pay for the concrete, or we don't have any guess how many yards we're talking about, or what the cost of the concrete would be?
I thought it was figured on there somewhere.
Haven't seen
Just to do the whole street in front of the car station, that don't include the sidewalks or anything else of that.
And this is, they're all going to do exactly the same thing.
Pretty much, I mean.
There's something there, and then they wanted $10,000. I'm thinking that comes together to 15 cars.
12,
Okay.
29,
Ward Davis, that's the guy that put up the fire station.
He's pouring a little thicker. This is, his is an 8-inch, this is a 6-inch thick, I guess.
And there's a little bit of difference here and there.
But everything that's, they're all gonna be doing the same, I mean, like all the valleys, all the, everything's listed on both of
Street
these.
from the new pavement all the way back to the curb. That includes the gutter too. Which is nothing else, we really need to get the gutters run. Otherwise, if we get any rain, it's just gonna keep washing it out right in front of the concrete.
Where's the number for this one?
So this is the, no, that's the labor.
Oh,
They both come out to about 22,000.
and this is all on us, right?
From what I hear. I think the city should have had some input when they started planning all that. Or that way they would have noticed it, start putting money back for it.
Right.
And this is for asphalt?
Concrete or,
Right, just some curb on it.
the only other option have to be to run the gutter so the water would run down the street like it always did. And then we could dig it out and rock it or whatever. That might get you by for a while.
I do have a verbal bid on just running the gutter. That would be us buying the concrete, and then this Facilio would be, $3,000 to help run that curb. It's 138 foot long. It would just put the gutter back in, that's all it would do for about $5,000. And that's something that definitely needs that curb put in. Because I believe if we get the curb in, we could dig back down beside the outside of that curb and use our white rock like we used on our project and get that in next to the curb and get by for a couple years. So we can get the money built up to be able to do it. Maybe.
Actually, they should run the curb in, or the gutter in when they run all that concrete in the first place.
Yeah, they should. That whenever, I don't know any other town that if you put a driveway in for any building you have, it's up to the owner to put that gutter back in. And Reno County should put that gutter back in. It should have never been bid that way.
They only allowed, what, 35 foot up on concrete, so they brought it right out to the back side of the curb, so it didn't include the gutter. Well, I don't know why they couldn't have shifted the building a couple of foot and done it all at once. That's why I think the city should have had some input into all that before went in the planning stage. Because you know, it's the last good rain we had, if you drove by there, you seen all the water running right down the side of the concrete, it's gonna wash out that where the gutter used to be.
So you think this gutter only option would get us by for a couple of years?
I think if we run the gutter, and like I said, if we dug it out 3 or 4 foot out the past the gutter and rocked it, it'd get you by for a couple of years probably.
And excuse me, the county can't object to that.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to do that, and then they say, well, no, we can't do that, we have to have it completely concrete.
Just gotta be solid enough for the truck to go over, and
Yeah.
I don't know what the county's got to say about it, I don't know.
Are there specs on the specifications on the guttering? Particular thicknesses that work best, or engineering specs for longevity and
I'm not an engineer, I can't tell you. All I know is we need to get a gutter running back in there, or the water just gonna work out a big trench out there.
Yeah, it's gonna whoosh out underneath the edge of what they've already run, and it's gonna break.
well, that's my concern. There ought to be some kind of standards for how thick that ought to be in the guttering and in the curbing. Otherwise, the low bid may not be in our best interest long term.
Other than that, we got the water put into the new fire table. Waiting on them to hook it up. They gotta hook up the sewer yet, nothing happened.
I do like Mr. Davis' proposal for 8-inch concrete there. Sooner or later, it all breaks down, and I think it should be better. We did add quite a bit to the pricing. We could add an 8-inch requirement on some of to add extra cost to some of those other bids. Why, that would please me, I think.
So are you wanting to get a bid on upgrade to an 8-inch then? From these other two?
Well, tell them just add whatever, take the bid, if we want 8 inches of concrete, we'll pay it for it. That's not the way we do things, I understand that.
I mean, I guess you'd see as the cheapest. They would upgrade it. I don't know how much that extra inch is gonna add to the cost though.
Don't have any idea.
What are you guys' thoughts?
Wouldn't think more than a couple $1,000 for the extra contact.
It's gonna be a while before the fire station is done, but it won't be that much longer either, so.
Are we gonna table it or are we gonna make a call? Oh, true.
I,
I forgot about that.
I think if you're changing what you want the bid, you need to do those updated
We did.
to have the, rather than trying to guess, what is that, have them say the inches what will be, or this what it is.
Cool, does that one say 6 inches? I can't read that at all, that one's just like, I don't even know what they're saying on that one.
Either way, them two are probably outdated anyway.
City does to take out on this one. City doesn't take
Yeah, they most of them got us cutting that old asphalt and digging it out, if I remember right.
Yeah, so city attorney will take out existing paving concrete.
Is it already out or?
Asphalt. You have to cut down that old asphalt and dig it all out and everything else. I think they all pretty much got up to doing all that. In other words, they just wanna come in and run the concrete pretty much.
I guess we'll have to get it updated to see what the extra 2 inches will cost before we decide on it.
Are they all figured in the same area, 125 feet by 24 feet? It's
Pretty much.
Not readable.
same thing. I have a hard time reading it.
Well, this one and, sorry guys, I know what's going on.
Just have them call and have them updated 8 inches and.
One's 125 feet, one's 126 feet. So,
About 24 feet of width.
yeah. And one's 6 inches thick, one's 8 inches thick.
One's
The
8
other one, I
inches.
don't know what this one is.
I think the one that you got in hand, the estimate on the concrete and then $10,000 for patio or whatever for his crew to come in and look at that for you.
Yeah, about a $12,000 or something estimate on the concrete and $10,000. We wouldn't be very far away from having our July meeting. Since this one is a couple of weeks late, we're only a couple of weeks out from having our July meeting. If we want to try to get these bids upgraded, if we could have them back by July. If it was a month or 6 weeks out there, I'd be thinking we're taking too long, but since it's only a couple of weeks.
got a consensus to get updated bid for the,
Okay.
Did we have consensus on that? Ms. Stuhler, I'm looking at you, did we have consensus on that? Thank you. Okay, we're gonna contact Mr. Palacios and Yetzi and Sons and ask them to update to 8-inch concrete. Thank you. What other items
Got
remain?
anything else? That's probably about it.
Do you guys have an idea of how many hours it takes you to mow all these properties?
One of us mowing or both of us mowing?
Well, either or.
With one of us mowing the ballpark and of course the lot below it, pretty much takes all day, right?
8 hours?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same way at the park.
And about the same way with the lagoon.
Yeah, lagoon's
We're
about.
not putting that out for bids, are we? I didn't think we could
Well,
put that
what's the
lagoon
putting
out.
out for bid?
I'm thinking we need
Water tower in the little park, probably, what, 2.5 hours? Both of them together,
Combined or
combined.
I'm more interested in the cost per lots that we, vacant lots or lots that don't, where there is an owner but doesn't show up and we end up doing it.
Well, that's what, $200 an hour? That we never get, so basically mowing all that for nothing. That just goes on hour minimum.
Taxes, yeah.
Don't matter if it takes 15 minutes or what, it's still an hour minimum, but you never get it anyway, so basically mowing everything for nothing on them.
Hour minimum, $200 an hour
I think it was 2 or 250, I think it was 2, if I remember.
Yeah, because it wasn't at 150, and it went to 2,
Yeah.
I think.
I think it went to 2, if I remember right. With the brush side of the tractor, it takes me about 4 hours, 5 hours probably. Across the highway from the north of 61. Probably takes 3.5, 4 hours to mow that with a tractor.
I have a question. So you're right, all the times that you're doing the mowing on those maintenance time sheets. I know I see some, but I don't know if I see
We
that.
usually right below on the park, I put it under the park. Mow the lagoon, we put it under the lagoon. Water tower goes under the water. The rest of it is right under other and mow whatever
But
we
you
mow.
don't mark it mowing, so
Yeah, mow, brush out or mow probably north
you know,
of
I see
61.
some down at the bottom where you mow,
Yeah,
but I didn't know if you, like, in the park, you put mowing with the time.
well, I put the time, but
Yeah,
usually if it's mow the park, I just put it under the park.
right, and just
Or
put the
whatever hours
time.
it is, but I don't write mowing or most times don't write
I was just
mowing.
trying to try to calculate the hours versus your pay and on those, but if I can't see each mowing, then I can't do that. But- Okay.
Any
Other
other
than
items?
that, said to have just as one person running, of course, with both of us mowing it, probably about half of them done.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion for the maintenance crew? Thank you. Mr. Chapman. The key order. How can we help?
Well, I'm alive. It's been a rough month and a half.
I hate working with dead people.
Yeah, I know that's
They just
right.
don't make good conversation.
Sometimes it's better than conversation for those that are living.
Well, that's true. What can you teach us today?
Well, I updated the list today. I'm a little bit confused as to procedure on abatement of the grass and weeds and so on. I've been told I need to submit it to the city attorney for him to draw up a resolution, and then I've also been told that historically, after a certain period of time, they just mow it. So I guess I need a clarification as to how it's supposed to happen.
The mowing's the one that notice gets sent out, and then that can just be done. If they don't ask for the hearing, they don't correct it. Everything else.
So abatement procedure to send it to you is on something more serious, like when we have to haul off a bunch of junk in on a piece of property or something like that.
Right.
Okay.
With regard to mowing, is there a time delay, 10 days or?
I think 10 days is what.
They're given 10 days to request a hearing, so if they don't respond in 10 days.
To mow or to request a hearing?
Yeah. I've kind of changed my focus with the onset of spring and summer and weeds. I've kind of turned my focus more towards that issue, especially on unoccupied properties where we've got to mail them out, and that they are apparently uninterested in doing anything. So I've kind of focused more on that than on other issues. My wife and I went to Branson for 4 lousy days and came back with knee-high weeds in the yard. So what happened to my yard?
Yeah, it's terrible this time.
Yeah. So the spring's rains were good news, bad news.
301 East Nebraska has been mowed. It was not the best job, but it's been mowed.
Okay. I did notice that, so I didn't know if they did it or if the guys did it.
Do you have pictures on the vehicle of the cases to be referred?
I'm sorry?
Do you have pictures of these vehicles on the cases to be referred? I think that if we could bring those next month when we talk about the vehicle violations, that would be helpful to go through and then kind of figure out where that line is what the council feels like. Is that
I think that with vehicles, you know, other than my property value, I don't have a vested interest in these issues. And certainly, I think I've made it clear that I'm not here to make people's lives difficult. It's just, I think it's important to when we have code, to enforce them fairly and across the board. You know, to remove portions of it, just let me know so I can respond accordingly. But the issue with being up on blocks is not just an issue of a junk vehicle, it's also a safety issue. And so be careful on how you tread on making changes there, because if I doubt it's ever happened, but if something were to happen and y'all had just changed it to allow that sort of thing, it opens up some civil liabilities as to that safety issue. So you know, be cautious about that sort of thing. Any questions? I try to make this pretty self-explanatory and pretty clear.
Well, Or did you?
No, I just, it looked like he was on top of things, so.
We have the
We can just-
ongoing case of the burnt house at 107 East Nebraska
Yeah.
Street. We were making dandy progress for a while. I think the dumpster got full, and I suspect that's when things came to, I don't know. Do you have any insight into that? My guess is the dumpster got full and got hauled off and has not been replaced. So I've had a call or two about the activity on that. Nothing has happened now for 2, 3, 4 weeks again.
Mhm.
So I would like to see that continuing. What do we do from a legal standpoint to pursue that? I think they made good progress, but everything has come to a standstill.
Is it down or is it halfway down?
It's down except for like the flooring.
If there's a basement or a cellar
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
I heard there's a
I think
basement
We're down to
there,
we're down to the concrete.
And I think the lot could probably be cleaned up,
Yes, it could.
so, but you know,
I was hopeful they were going to take the concrete out too at some point, but that's maybe a different question.
how about the, the little shack there, diagonal from my house?
McMahon's.
The one that burned out, the little shack
Okay?
that is half burnt with a tarp over it.
He's
Is there anything I
rebuilding
need to
that.
do on that?
I mean, it's a burnt structure, I would think it needs to be,
He's redoing it.
he's redoing it?
He's rebuilding it.
I'm sorry.
I guess we'll look
He's
for,
rebuilding it.
He's rebuilding it?
Yes,
look to see how much progress he makes, I guess. Brandon is,
yes.
or Cole is?
Brandon is. Cole's in prison.
I didn't mean Cole anymore. I did not mean Cole. I meant the dad. I can't even think of his name.
Oh.
Robert.
Robert,
No,
thank you.
He's not in any shape.
No, that's what I thought. I thought that's, yeah, not Cole. So I guess I'll have to watch that.
Yep. How about branches that come down in storms and then get dragged out to the street? Is that appropriate and proper? And do the guys then
I've
drive
got more
around?
questions about that, and I've visited with the maintenance guys, and the report from this crew it seems to be that if we have a major league windstorm, they were happy to help with cleanup with branches. If it's just a branch here and a branch there, it's probably up to individuals to haul them themselves,
Mhm.
property owners out
Right.
to the deposit. So I think it's just, you got a pile next to the street, and there wasn't really a terrible windstorm of some sort. Well, I suspect it's probably something worth noting and maybe raise a complaint about it. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Is that kind of?
My thoughts on it.
I don't know, we've had a lot of kind of semi-windy storms, and there are a lot of branches down and gathering and need to be hauled off. There are. But I don't think it's their job unless we just have really a bad storm and there's lots and lots of branches everywhere.
Okay.
I do have it,
Correct me, tell me what your feelings are.
I think that's right. On the 107 East Nebraska, if there is a basement under that property, that really needs to be taken down and filled in. You know, somebody could walk across that subfloor that they have there, and they shouldn't be there, I know, but it's still a liability.
Mhm. How about if we put up a couple of signs indicating the condemnation status and something that warns people and frankly relieves the city of the liability of not warning people? So is that?
Does that play with your views?
And I can find a sign on the internet, but, you know, it'd be nice if it was official, you know? So I can make one of my own, but I'd rather it be official that would stand
Another question you might think about right there is with the amount of rain that we've had, if there's a basement under there, it's got to have a lot of water in it. And we're talking about mosquito problems, which I know I walk out of my house, and if it's right time of day, I get attacked.
There is a basement under it.
Is it a crawl space? I wonder, is it a, have you guys were down there, weren't you, one time with a water leak or something?
I wasn't in the basement.
There's just more of a crawl space, just a dugout down there. There really wasn't any kind of concrete wall and the water heater set down there. So it's just kind of a dugout under the house.
I mean, like, the size of a basement, I mean, like 12 foot tall and.
Oh, no, it's, you could just barely walk in there without hitting your head.
Is it mud
It
floor?
wasn't the whole size of the house.
Yeah. Is it mud floor? Mud
Dirt
floor?
floor.
Yeah.
So maybe if they push that all in, most of that will get in there, I don't know.
Well, I think it's probably if they're leaving the debris out there, we start off with, you've got that as the new observation. Probably need to add that it needs to be built level too, if they don't, haul them back in here and start talking on that again, and then it gets to,
Okay.
at least at this point, the city's gonna take those last steps. It should be cheaper than the city would start it from scratch and do it, but it probably needs to be finished either by them or by us.
So do we just need to talk to them and say, what's your game plan here to get this finished up?
I think so, and then if they're not doing it, then we need to start our process again.
I might take a little more aggressive action and ask for a letter to be prepared at your office, but you may outvote me here. Mandating, continuing activity there, mandating taking the removal of that concrete and filling in the whole place. I don't know what to.
I can get something put together.
The rest of you may not want to be that aggressive on it. This has been ongoing a long time. We're continuing cleanup and clean up the surface area, the miscellaneous stuff lying up, and the concrete. You're welcome down for open meeting. That's too aggressive for your taste.
No, I think it's time to get something finished up.
Maybe past
Maybe our claim, yeah.
we're well past the deadline.
So do we need to do
No.
signs on condemnation, or is it past that point?
Let's,
To where it's not really, where there's not a building to come down, somebody said now.
I'll get that follow-up letter notice put together and see what we get from that.
Okay.
Questions, Mr. Joplin? Discussion on these
What about
properties?
What about the house on Kansas Street, 108? That place needs to be mowed.
Across from you?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. And I thought we had talked about that quite a long time ago.
I put a report in on it.
Because I had mentioned it at one meeting. It's the grasses or the
Oh,
weeds
it's
or.
terrible. We mowed the
Children
front of
are-
it, but, that, you know, it's push mowing.
I'll look in my, on my computer, see if I have a notice already out on that.
Okay.
And if not, I'll certainly get one. Is it?
It's right by you.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight across the house.
That's not, that's,
Not the house right north of you, but one house west.
that's 100 more?
108.
That'd be 200 block, isn't it?
No, straight across
That
from
would
me.
be 200, wouldn't it? Isn't it?
It's 108.
It's 108.
Oh, it's 208, I'm sorry.
Oh!
She forgot her own address.
It's right there, actually, 208.
Yeah, it's 208.
So it has been
Yeah,
served.
it's there. Mhm.
So we can get something.
Questions, discussion, guidance from Mr. Joplin? Questions from Mr. Joplin?
That's what I had.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Good night.
Thank you. I see no safety officer. Do you have any report from the safety officer? Is there a custodial officer report?
Not really a report, but we've had some instances in the gym where people have gone in, I'm assuming when the library's open, I don't know. Leaving windows open, taking pop and stuff in there, it's on the floor, trash.
Throwing liquid on the floor?
And trash. So, I don't know, unless we have people come in and they wanna use the gym, they gotta come in and sign into the office. I don't know how else we can keep track of who's in and out of there. I mean, during office hours, of course. But there's been 2 times the windows have been left open. And there's probably a few new scratches on the floor. But other than that,
Any thoughts? Want to make them sign in?
well, we had a notebook out there, but you know, they're not gonna see that notebook, they're not gonna sign it, so that doesn't do us any good.
With the sign-in
Unless-
book in the office and instruct them to sign in before they, in the office before they.
And I'm not even sure, what are the hours to the library? Are they open until 5?
Monday, 1 to 5. Wednesday now it's 9 to 1. And then Saturday is 1 to 5. Or not 1 to 5, it's 9 to 12.
I mean, it's not up to them to patrol the
No,
gym.
not. I suppose we can lock,
Doors unlocked, anybody can come in.
Right.
we can lock the doors and
And we did that at one time. But I don't know what happened that day.
was that helpful?
Yes. I don't know, I don't remember.
Okay, good ideas from Mr. Green and Colton. You have any good ideas?
I like the sign in, but like you're saying, what's stopping them from just walking past it?
You have good ideas?
Unless we just go from office hours, they can only use it through office hours. When somebody's in here, they'll kind of have them sign in and see what's going on.
Well, that's the rule we've already set though, because I posted on Facebook last year that the gym hours were on during my office hours.
So do you want it in your food or?
So I guess they could either rent it or have to use it during office hours. I just don't know. I mean, you hate to do that to everybody, but there's a few that's just gonna be a pain in the neck.
Ms. Schuler, how do you feel about that? Rent it, either rent the
Rent
gym
people.
or rent it to office hours or rent it?
I'm fine with that.
I'm sorry?
I'm fine with the office hours, but she'll have to lock it when she leaves.
I think we'll just have to get like a combination lock or something, so we don't have to keep track of the key, maybe, I don't know.
Colton, what do you think?
Yeah.
Does that require a motion or just consensus?
So do you want us to buy a padlock then to get for that?
I just think I may have a brand new one at home, all of it, which I do over
If not, then I would have to spend money.
What, I mean, you have a, can't you buy, you have to.
For an office budget.
Have what?
Let me check on that combination off and on.
Probably need a sign on the gym door,
Okay, so do consensus.
probably need a sign on the gym door to this effect. Gym is available to the public during office hours or other hours by renting.
Is that right?
So consensus to lock the gym when it's not office hours.
Spend a lot of money.
I mean, it's already, it's not wearing very well. Unfortunately, you can feel all the cracks in the seams because there just was not ever enough polyurethane on it.
And I will make a sign.
Can we move on? Audience comments? Going once, going twice?
I guess, how can you be guaranteed they're gonna sign that paper though? You'd almost have to police the gym.
I'm sure they'll be out here and playing basketball.
Yeah. That was my
They'll be
only
right there.
concern.
Well, the rules are you can't be in there if you're under 18 unless you're on an adult.
I just didn't want you to run back and forth to make sure they signed and,
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to just, keep an ear out. Well, it's mostly, recently, the only people that have gone in there is when the library's open. I mean, the other day I did have some kids come in, but
Moving on. Mrs. Michaela, do you have unfinished business in your memory? Things we need to,
no unfinished and no new business.
no new business, no unfinished business. Anyone else have any new business that's not on the agenda that we can ignore? That's not on the agenda. Okay, governing body comments, I have none. Everyone has already presented. Any further discussion for the good of the city? If not, a motion to adjourn would be
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second that.
All right.
Thank you all for your time, concern.
Before you leave, again.